The destruction of all that we know will be brought about by pacts made with those who lurk amongst the stars. I think I got that right. Those were the words that the prophet Breamonta spoke, which served as the basis for clusterism and fueled their hatred for us, our alien allies, and our way of life. In 2370, as you all know, our war with the clusterists began. What should have been a swift and decisive victory against a lesser enemy was complicated by the bureaucracy back home in the Sol system. Nearly half of our government and the population they represent believed that for some reason, all of a sudden, this was an unjust war and not worthy of funding or support. So as a result, we're undersupplied and undermanned. As you also know, this conflict started because our dear allies, the Uro, had an existing claim on the clusterist colony of Terra Brea, and without their support, we would be hundreds of years behind in technology, and our colonies would quickly fail. You know, you've heard all of this on the news, folks. Every day, the war's growing less popular, more difficult. God, you know this. I'm sorry, I'm kind of repeating myself, but I have to read this. We were given 13 years by the Uro to clear the planet, Terra Brea, of the clusterists. And it's been 10 years and 2 months since the start of the war, and we are only just now capturing the capital city. This doesn't reflect on you guys at all. It's just funding, really. We've been sending more soldiers back home because we can't afford them, and now we have to root out an insurgency before the deadline is up, and that sucks. And if you're hearing this, it means that, you're one of the lucky bastards who's going to be rooting them out. So, keep your gear close and give them hell. Thanks all.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to All That You Know, which is our Beamsaber campaign. My name is Colin, and as you all know, I will be your GM. Before we get into the system and character creation, we're going to go around and introduce ourselves and our characters, and you're going to have a little brief 1 to 2 sentence blurb about your character. For instance, something like, I'm Joe, I'll be playing Gringle, call sign Stump, and I'll be using the Infiltrator playbook. Gringle is a human who used to be a clusterist but defected, and has become pretty cruel because of the war. I know that's a lot of pressure, because I didn't tell you to write the blurb, and I should have.
Good.
It's a tough act to follow, honestly.
That's my character.
You read my first sheet.
But we're going to start with, it says Discord order, so unfortunately, Brian, you're going to have to go first.
I'm ready.
It's fresh in his mind.
It is, yeah, you gotta look at it like that. So, my character's name is Harold, and he will be playing with the Bureaucrat playbook. A little bit about his background. He joined the war in his brother's footsteps, who was part of the first wave of peacekeepers. And since joining, he's developed feelings towards clusterists, and I'll leave it at that for now.
Haven't we all? Why, Zach?
All right. I will be playing Garrett Hart, call sign Geist, and using the Ace playbook. Garrett has also developed feelings towards clusterists. He's a long hauler. He was one of the first groups to kind of show up, and he originally took his duties as a peacekeeper very seriously. And he was really looking for like a peaceful solution, actually trying to keep peace. And then in a rather cataclysmic battle, a person he cared about very much was killed by what are those guys called?
So like the big bad generals are called the Virtues, and it was the Retribution.
The virtue of retribution. He killed her when he really didn't need to, and also very badly crippled Garrett. Crippled him so badly that he was in a medically induced coma for several years, and has only recently regained the ability to kind of operate. And despite his grievous injuries and reconstruction, has insisted on rejoining the war with significant cybernetic enhancement and a bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's not a very happy man.
Great. Ewan.
All right. My name is Ewan, but I am playing a character named Sunlith, who is an uplifted dolphin. Very rare amongst the species of the Sol Union, at least. And has a history in xenobiology on Europa and is joining the war efforts due to his feelings as a dolphin against the Clusterists, since he is another species of intelligent life, albeit from Earth, but still feels very strongly about different species of intelligent beings getting along with each other instead of being xenophobic. So, he has been in the war effort for 2 years now, not very long. Doesn't know a lot about human culture yet, but is doing his best to help out in this cause that he feels passionate about.
Great. Adam.
Woo. Hi, I'm Adam. My character's name is Joseph. His AI handle is J0534 because he's a robot. His code name is Mirage. He used to be a class 2 AI, which was like the AI in the frames that system, right, Colin?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. But I think the thing that we're going with is that I was Wyzek's character's girlfriend's AI in that machine when it broke down. But I was pulled from that, and then I had somehow I gained class 3 consciousness, and now I'm assisting in the efforts. I think my class is Infiltrator. That's what I'm going to go with. So, yeah.
I forgot to say my class and call sign. My class is the Empath class. My dolphin has psychic ability, and his call sign is Loyal.
Loyal.
Get.
Yeah, I'm going to be referring to you guys as your call signs, pretty much. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Beamsaber. I know Wyzek and Ewan have both played Blades in the Dark with me before, so you kind of know this framework, which is the Forged in the Dark system. The rest of you have played Dungeon World with me in the past. It's kind of similar. You roll d6s, there's a big focus on partial successes, and it is very, very unstructured. You know, there's only a few skills, and everything basically fits in one of those skills. And you mostly just say what you want to do, and we figure it out from there. It's pretty easy to learn on the player side. Not much to memorize. And I'm not going to start talking about all the systems you have to work with, because I know that no one learns from those big spiels. Or at least I don't, so I'm not going to. But 2 things you should know about the system is that there is a flashback mechanic, which lets you spend stress, which is kind of like your main meta currency, that lets you set up things non-linearly. So you could say you planted mines somewhere, even though it hadn't been discussed previously in any setup. This game has no real mission setup. You kind of just jump into things and you, I guess, retcon whatever feels good for you. The second thing is that any consequence I throw at you because of a roll, you can resist. This is also using stress, but basically, like if you got hurt because of a bad roll, you can spend your stress to either reduce it to a lesser hurt, or you can completely negate it, which is very nice and lets you do some stupid shit with your characters, which I encourage you to do. So now that is out of the way, let's get to character creation. We're going to just go through the checklist. If you want to follow along, players, you will want to be on page 58. So you've all already chosen your playbook. We have Empath. Wyzek, you're playing an Ace. Adam,
Yes.
you are playing the Infiltrator.
Mhm.
Brian's Bureaucrat. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to add 3 action points that you get from your chosen playbook. And so,
Sure.
Adam, since I'm using you as the example, what you're going to do is you're going to mark 2 dots in Prowl and 1 dot in Finesse on that right side of your character sheet on the main page.
Boom. Dotted.
So like Insight, Prowess, Resolve, Expertise, and Acuity are kind of like, they're called skill groups. Those are what you use to resist consequences. And the things underneath them are the actions you take. Those are things you roll to do stuff. And more dots is better. Nothing can start above 2 in character creation. Just know that when we get to the later steps. Everyone else find it okay?
Yes, sir.
Great. Then I'm going to move on. So, this is like the backstory stuff we start to get into. And that is the question, who were you before the war stole from you? You kind of already answered this in your intros. I think all of you answered in your intros, so we can kind of skip the question. But because of that history, you're going to put 1 point into any of the skills on that right column that you think expresses your backstory. Like for instance, if you were some sort of scholar, you might put one into study because you used to study shit.
Interface is like tech stuff, right?
Interface is like hacking.
Okay, cool.
I think, okay, so just correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I want some clarity on that. So the expertise and acuity, like skill groups, are for stuff you do inside your frame mostly,
Yes,
right? Like
the expertise
battle is
and acuity-
specifically.
Yeah, thank you for asking. Expertise and acuity, those groups are specifically for things you do in your frame, your mech.
What do manipulate and scan govern for mech controls?
Scanning is scanning stuff with your mech. I
Mhm.
believe manipulate is like fine motor actions. It's basically finesse, but for mechs.
It's like dexterity
about-
with your little robot hands.
Okay. How about engineer?
For fixing things, including people.
Hmm.
Or I think it's also tinkering.
You
if
fix
wanna
me.
invent stuff.
And what's survey?
Survey is looking for things, observing.
Survey's personal perception scan is like using your mech's sensor suites to find stuff.
Okay.
think
And
I'm
it's like
putting
hunt,
my
I
point.
imagine, like finding objects or something like that.
Hunt is taking violent action at a range when there's like no
Oh.
immediate threat to you close up. So now that everyone has put their one dot in, the next thing in the rulebook is how have you experienced the costs of war? This is your tragedy. We already went through that. You all basically told us your tragedies, except for maybe Sunlith.
What happened, Sunlith?
What happened?
About our tragedy?
Yeah, with tragedy. What did the war take from you?
What did the war take from me?
Take from you.
He lost his faith in his ability to be nonviolent in the efforts of this war.
There you go.
That's fair.
I like it.
Can't believe
5.
he fell for the propaganda. That's so sad.
5 is more lore stuff. It is what were you doing after your tragedy, but before you joined the squad. So basically, in between period before you were fully enlisted and in the shit, so to speak, and after you lost stuff. For instance, Wyzak, your character was in a coma. I
Yeah,
believe.
medically induced coma. Yeah, as they rebuilt him.
Yeah,
They
so,
had the technology.
Built.
you
RoboCop.
are going to put 1 point into a pilot or vehicle action that expresses this part of your life.
That expresses the trauma of our lives.
What skills did I foster while I was laying on the table in a coma?
Is there a hanging out skill?
Resolve.
My sleeping is just
resolve,
off the
actually.
charts.
Resolve
Yeah.
is not an action point.
It's not, but it should be. What's
right.
the difference between battle and destroy for expertise?
It's the same thing between skirmish. I mean, is this skirmish in this system?
It's bad, or no?
It's
I
struggle.
think it's struggle. Yeah.
So destroy is destroying. Battle is like actually being more precise. Destroying is just being like, I don't give a fuck what happens to anything. I'm just gonna go and break shit.
Yeah. Destroy would be like blowing up a bridge, whereas like battle would be shooting your mech's machine gun at somebody. I think I'm gonna have to check off struggle and just say that now that he has these cool robot limbs, he's a little bit better at punching people than he was before.
Makes sense. And everyone should just say what they're putting it into. And
Okay.
I'm putting it in Hunt. I was gonna ask, in this universe, can robots be like used in infiltration? That's what I was gonna go with. That he was like a thin little robot that can get in between places, and that's how he infiltrated. So I was gonna put it into Hunt.
they can be.
Sure, let's do it.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
There's a whole lore document. We're not going to get into it, but yes, that's
Okay.
acceptable.
I'm thinking since my guy was
Thin
big
little skeleton
logistics guy, maybe scan. Let's do it.
I put mine into battle.
Battle.
Okay.
I got good at battling, but I didn't like it.
War is hell.
Great. The next thing is going to be your drive, which is what do you hope to change in the world? This was part of your homework as well, so you should just kind of know it. But yeah, that's your goal. Could be revenge, could be, if you want to cop out, which is acceptable, you want to be, I want to end the war. Who doesn't? But you should know that the drive is a kind of a mechanical thing you actually work on in the downtime. So don't choose, I want to end the war, because that's going to resolve on its own. It should be something you work on, personally, like a long-term personal goal, stuff like that.
Well,
if you
shit.
don't
I gotta change
know-
some things.
yeah, if you don't know for sure right now, I'm not going to force you to come up with it on the spot. We can just skip over this and talk about it in between, because this is a very important thing, and you should not feel rushed into it.
Yeah, Geist wants to kill Retribution. He also wants to end the war, but he's on the revenge kick, and it's kind of driving him insane.
You're going to put 3 points divided between any of those vehicle actions, which are those bottom 2 categories. And remember,
points?
yes, 3 points, and nothing can go over 2 in character creation. None of these dots can
Maneuver.
be 3.
Manipulate. Scan. Done.
Yeah, I'm taking Battle Bombard and Scan. I do actually have a question. Would taking a precise long-range shot with a heavy weapon, would that be Bombard? I was thinking of taking a recoilless rifle or a railgun. Would that be Bombard to hit somebody with it from really far away?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
Would a laser from very far away be Bombard?
If it's very far away, it's Bombard.
Okay. It's Bombard time, basically.
Yeah. Basically, it's Bombard time. And
basically, I'm saying it's Bombard time. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, of course. The next thing, if you guys are ready, is to put 2 points split between any pilot and or vehicle actions. So 2 more points, but can go in anything this time.
You still can't go over 2 or 3, did you say?
Cannot go over 2.
Okay.
I'm putting 2 in Sway.
Useful.
Mm-hmm. How seriously are dolphins taken? This is a valid question. Will people actually be swayed by a dolphin that tries to convince them to do anything?
That's a good point.
People will be confused by you. It's going to be mostly naivety, because people don't really think poorly about dolphins like they do about
clusterists.
Well, I was going to say AI, specifically Adam's character. Emergent personalities, they're called, and I will try to call them that in the future to stay true to myself.
To your own canon. Come on, Colin.
True to my own canon.
Do it.
But yeah, you'll be fine. If you roll well, that is. You might find a dolphin racist if you roll really badly.
I'm sure I'm going to find a couple.
I'm going to come up with some great anti-dolphin slurs. Fin brain.
Oh my god.
Create slurs for dolphins for me right now. I'm literally doing this.
Okay. All good?
That was 2 points, right?
Yeah, 2 points from that one.
Okay.
Next, you are going to choose an ability from your playbook. So, in your playbook, your abilities are, your abilities. They're just called the abilities. For instance, an infiltrator. Since I'm on that page still. It says infiltrator abilities, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 choices in front of you. These have a lot to do with the system. So if you want to ask me any questions about what does +1D mean, go ahead, and I'll answer it. And why, Zach? While the others are choosing, I see you have already chosen one. So read it out.
I've been playing this for a while. So my ability is more than meets the eye. Your custom vehicle can transform into a secondary form. Detail that second form. Select 2 load worth of vehicle gear and 3 action points that your vehicle has. It lacks this gear and these action points when in its secondary form. Select 2 load worth of vehicle gear and 3 action points that your vehicle lacks. It has this gear and these action points when in its secondary form. So the basic gist I had is that because Geist is so incredibly augmented to the point where he, most of his limbs and a lot of his internal organs have been replaced with machines, he can withstand a lot of stress that a conventional human pilot can't. And he was given this prototype frame that can transform between a very, very fast mode and a mode that is very, very good at destroying things. Big gun.
Awesome.
I didn't realize I got different action points.
Oh yeah.
I gotta reassign these because I wanna.
Yeah, that's totally fine. If you want Theorycraft your build, you guys are free to switch these around off mic as much as you'd like. Okay, is everyone set with this part?
Yeah.
Adam, what did you choose?
Go with Shadow. You want me to read out what it does?
Yes.
You may spend your spark to resist a consequence from detection or security measures, or to push yourself for a feat of athletics or stealth.
Great. Ewan, I know what you're taking, but tell me anyways. Yes, so Ewan's taking the one which he's going to now try to find. I don't remember what playbook it is. I think it's Envoy. I think Envoy's the playbook that has it. But it means whenever a character is lying, Sunlift will know about it, which always so fun to play with. But just so you know, Ewan, I am not omniscient. So if you think someone's lying, you might just have to ask me, is this person lying? And I will be honest.
Okay. Okay.
Because I
Does
lie
that
a lot.
work between players?
Yes.
So, like, do we have to announce that we're lying to Ewan if we're talking to him?
Yes.
Okay.
You do. In the end, parentheses, lie.
Yeah, lie. Exactly.
Which is
All
fine.
right, I'll note
I mean,
that.
you can, on that note, people can say things they believe to be true, and it will not be truthful.
Whoa.
But I'm not a big fucker, so I'm not going to do that to you all the time.
The ability is called like looking into a mirror. You can
That's the
always
one.
tell when someone is lying to you. It is on
Holy shit.
Envoy. You were correct.
All right, Brian, what did you choose?
I chose Cook the Books, where I spend 2 stress and a downtime activity to gain additional supply roll.
He's a real
Fantastic.
bad boy.
You're a real bad boy. You
Yeah,
know
I
that?
stay up late and look at computers. It's just like real life.
Cooker.
Okay. Next up is something I actually completely forgot in my notes, which is vehicle creation, and I've rapidly
It
wrote.
seems a
don't need
little
those.
important.
It is important. You're going to be choosing your vehicle's look, like just how it looks. There's nothing too complicated. The name, its model and manufacturer, that typical stuff. You're going to come up with that off mic because I forgot to brief you on this. My bad. So, what you need to do now, don't think about the details of your mech. You're going to choose its load. Is it a light mech? Is it a medium mech or a heavy mech?
And if I'm correct, you don't actually have to decide anything
No.
that's mounted on it until you are in play.
Yeah. So it's like just open slots for your mech, and whenever you want to use something, like if you're in a combat situation and you're like, shit, I need a machine gun, you can be like, well, my mech has a machine gun now, just out of thin air. But technically it was always there. That's just how this game works.
Okay.
So heavy mechs, I'm assuming, move slowly,
Yes.
but obviously have more shit, harder to bring down. I think I'm going normal.
We don't need to go into what type of mechs you're going to be doing right now, because we're going to go into the quirks, and that'll kind of help us describe your mechs.
Okay.
Which is also part of your homework, and I'm sure you all did it.
I did.
This is
I
a
can't
rough
wait
day
for you to
file.
tell me all of them are wrong.
No, I think anyways, we'll get to the quirks now. Everyone's chosen their mech's load. So you create 4 quirks for your vehicle, which are 2-word descriptors for it, and you use these when they apply for bonuses and to resist consequences, kind of like stress. Your quirks are the stress for your mech. You rarely use your stress when you're in your mech. You mostly just use these.
I'd like to
Write mine
know
down
if all
somewhere,
mine
then.
are wrong. I
Sure,
don't know if I
let
did
me
this
hear
right.
them.
I thought these were like, I took quirks as perks or like special things that your frame did. That's what I thought it was.
It can be.
So like one of them was like he would have like on his hands he would have like piercing claws, like he would have really sharp claws that he can like slash at people. Is that right?
I think so. Like on your mech.
'Cause we could make them up, right?
Yeah, you can make them up. Like
Yeah, so I made that up.
examples are ominous appearance, flexible structure, military workhorse, light-footed, things like that.
Yeah. Well, the other one I want to know is I was going to do like sedentary camo or something, which I know there is already a camo, like the haze system for that stuff. But I was wondering, like, could I do a camo that, like, if I'm there's this really cool thing in Red Alert 2, some of like the
Let's
special
go.
tanks, if they don't move, they turn into trees in the
The
environment.
Mirage tanks, yeah.
Yes, Mirage tanks. That's why my character is called Mirage.
I
Is
like
that
that.
something I could do? Like, can I turn into like a big tree or like a fake building that people like look at me for, but then when I start moving?
So your quirks are not something that actually do anything. Like,
Okay.
you do not get like specific extra capabilities because of your quirks. That's just going to be from your mech gear and your class. But in that vein, you could have this camo that, let's say you get shot from a distance. And it's like, well, I think my camo would come in handy here. So I'm going to resist this consequence with this quirk. Or I'm going to push myself to hide here with this quirk. So you can use it. It's just, I can't guarantee you won't be seen if you roll poorly.
Yeah, just so you know, one of the Infiltrator Specialist vehicle gears is fine optical camo that makes you almost seamlessly blend into your environment. So you like have an item you can take that does basically what you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I'll
might
get rid of
want
that.
something that is things that are pretty general, like ominous appearance, for example, slow and heavy. Things that you could imagine having a lot of uses. Like piercing claws, I
Hard
can
to
see.
see could be a good one too if you just want something a little more general.
Yeah, or
like
just
difficult to spot or something.
like confusing paint job.
It's like hot rod.
It's like
fuck is that?
those like what animal is it that has like a paint that like is just to like confuse predators, not really to scare them or anything, but it's just like it's like an optical illusion that is. I think it's a butterfly or a moth that does that.
Yeah, it sounds like an insect. I would
Yeah.
believe.
But yeah, things like that. So do you want me to come back to you, Adam, while you think about
Yeah, I got nothing. Go ahead.
Ryzek, I think I saw you put yours all in.
Yeah, I'm still kind of playing around with my last one, but I took a few actually right from the book. I took Roaring Fast and Flexible Frame, and then I picked Overburdened with Ordnance because I noticed a lot of the example quirks are kind of like positive and negative.
Mm-hmm.
Like slow and heavy, for example, or aggressive targeters. And then I took my last one. I took Unpredictable Boosters with the idea being that like it has like flight paths that are like visually confusing or not what you would expect from a vehicle of its type.
Oh,
but
I
I'm still
see.
workshopping that last one. I might swap it for something else.
Sure. Like as long as you guys just get a general idea, this is definitely something we can workshop in the interim.
Yeah, this is one of the weirder parts of the system. I think that like doesn't really have an analog in Blades, and it's kind of
the quirks are, they're not good. Anyways, Brian, do you have ideas here?
Yeah, I have 3 so far. They're all the first one's my own. I like 2 from the examples. The first one's innocuous appearance. I want this to look like a fucking just your Honda Civic of mechs. It's boring. And the other 2 are in line with that. So we have common parts and redundant systems. This thing is the utilitarian's ride of choice. Still thinking of a 4th though. It might be military workhorse, I think, just given everything else. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to think about what that means though, in terms of.
Yeah, that's fine. Just take your time.
Yeah,
it's not.
But I like that flavor.
I like it too.
It's a beige filing cabinet with like
it's boring
GPS reports flying out the top.
But it's massive. It's still a huge size.
It's got little arms and legs on it.
Ewan, what are you thinking for Sunlith?
3. One of them I haven't thought of the name of. The first one is obviously amphibious. This mech was designed to work in the oceans of Europa, but also works on land. So it works equally well both under the water and on the surface. And also probably taking ominous appearance because it has a weird design. It is made out of European tech, which is different than probably other mechs that might have been used in this war effort. It's made of mother of pearl type material, so it shines in this iridescent manner and just looks very weird and alien. And then the other ones I wanted to think about were ones that were involved in the fact that it was originally meant for like mining, disabling technology, putting up shields, maybe some sort of modular style quirk, and that it's been retrofitted a lot, or that it's, I don't know. I'm having trouble thinking of 2 more. I had ideas for it, but I don't remember what they were. I tried to find them written down, but have not done so yet.
No rush. We can work through it afterwards. Cool. Adam, let's hear one more you've come up with, and we'll move on to the next section.
I literally, every single one I'm coming up with is in specialist vehicle gear. It's the sensors that make you see through things. It's like a radio scramble. It's a fucking mobility thing.
What it says specifically about that is that if you're having trouble coming up with quirks, you can look at specialist gear that other mechs get, and then you think of a negative quirk to go with it. So it's like you can take a quirk that's like a shitty version of something that a different class gets. That's why the intermittent optical camo is there, and a couple other ones.
Let's talk about intermittent optical camo. Does that mean like stealth abilities a little bit somehow?
I think it's like unreliable. That? Like you might be flickering in and out a little bit, but sometimes it's useful.
Yeah, because so you check off quirks to like resist consequences, right? Is that right?
Yeah, and to push yourself, which gives you bonuses to stuff.
So you could like check off intermittent optical camo to like resist a consequence for being spotted, or to resist maybe being hit, because it's like I flickered out reality before.
I want that one. I want that to be, it is designed for being underwater use, so it doesn't work very well on land. And I don't imagine I'll be doing much water combat, so having this camo that's meant to work underwater, flicker on land would be cool.
Yeah, I think that would be
cool.
that? with that in mind, your amphibious quirk, I do not anticipate any like water levels really.
Mhm.
This is a very urban environment. Eventually, I think you will leave the city. Spoiler alert. But
what the fuck?
just keep that in mind because your quirks are big. But you
Oh,
can
my
all,
last quirk I want is 360 sonar. That's a thing.
That
You
would
know,
be good. I mean,
it is.
yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So next up, we're going to determine your character's relationships to some NPCs. This is a homebrew section. This is not in the system. I'm doing this just because I want you to care about people more and be invested in my world that I'm spinning for you. So let's go to squads first. It's factions and squads. You're probably already there.
Yeah.
So there are already some squads that exist in the world. They're like subdivisions of their factions. Soul Union Peacekeepers, there is your squad, and you're tier 0, not tier 1. And then there are a few others. For instance, there are the Shutterbugs, which are 2 weak. Their tier is their strength, basically. And what they do is they're propagandists. So we're going to invent some new squads that you want to see in the world, and we're going to give them names. So I know you love naming things, so good luck. Does anyone have an idea for a squad they want to see? Right now, all we have is the like top pilots, which are called the Moon Devils, the Shutterbugs, which are the propagandists, and the Shovel Scum, which are the builders, basically.
I was thinking maybe Geist's former unit could be a different squad. Do we like? I guess what is our squad? Are we like a purpose-built task force, or is that something we're going to decide?
Basically, there's been budget cuts, and you guys have been cobbled together to do some like various jobs that need doing, kind of an all-purpose arm. So keep that in mind. There's already an all-purpose squad, but I do like the idea of your former squad. Although one thing that we did establish is that the former squad leader of your squad, whose name is Kilo Germain, and he was the guy in the intro. He is now the director of the pilot division.
Oh, sick. I don't know. Maybe would it be possible for my guy to be a former member of the Moon Devils, or are they like a more recent thing? Because like he's all fucked up now. He's like a long hauler veteran, but he's lost his edge because like he was like medically dead for a while, and he probably had brain damage and all this other stuff. So he's a little bit slow.
I think that's a good idea. You can be a former Moon Devil. They've been here since the start. They were trained by the guy who defected to the Clusterists, Pierce Sunspire.
Son of a bitch.
Okay.
In that case, maybe a squad could be like some kind of like backliner, like medical personnel, like maybe like a medevac team or whatever that saved Geist's life and kind of were the ones to help patch him up with all this experimental tech so that he could fly again or drive again.
I like that. What is their name?
Oh, fuck.
Other people can chime in if you have ideas.
Does anybody want to field a name?
Grimble.
Grimble.
Grimble already exists. You'll meet him, okay?
Grimble's there.
Thimble, like the object.
I think that because thimbles are used in sewing, which is used in medical procedure.
Yeah, okay.
You want to call them the thimbles?
The thimbles. Yeah.
The thimbles.
I like that. What do we think their strength is? Your strength as a squad, like a cobbled together group of 4, is 0. Strong, though, which is not usually what it's supposed to be.
Cool.
5.
Maybe 5. One strong or a 2 weak, maybe?
I like 1 strong, because we don't have a 1
strong,
here
2
yet.
weak.
And then we're going to need 1 more squad. Does anyone else have any ideas for a role that like a pilot squad would have?
Top Guns.
Well, that's
The Bro Squad.
Yeah.
Is there a Bro
Whatever.
Squad?
The Moon Devils are a bro squad.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really a boys' club.
They're always touching each other's wet, naked bodies.
On the beach.
Listening to Kenny Loggins.
Playing
They're big on volleyball. What about like a squad of like dudes that one player or another could relate to, like a squad of are there enough what are they called, non-human persons? No, that's Lancer.
Oh yeah, like
emergent personalities. There is not a squad
Are there
of emergent
enough?
personalities.
Okay.
I figured.
They're very unusual to see.
Fucking hell.
It's okay, Adam. You'll get your day.
No, I'll
What
get
about
my fucking day.
some wacky technophile type dudes. I don't know. I don't want to make both of the squad. Somebody else should come up with one if you have any ideas at all.
We don't have to do
I
AI
like the idea of
stuff.
there being other dolphins.
I don't think there's going to be a whole dolphin squad unless there could be. Like, I don't know. That'd be interesting.
I mean, I'm down for it.
Can't.
Sure.
Let me get a time
Are
code.
you worried? I guess I would say, are you worried that having a squad of dolphins, will that cheapen your experience as the weird dolphin guy?
That's true.
And that would make me ask myself the question, why am I not part of the squad
Yeah.
of dolphins? Why am I with you guys?
Yeah.
So that's why I did not bring it up. But, you know, or maybe a squad of AIs, if that would even be allowed.
No, we can't do that.
We already decided
Emergent
squad of AIs is
intelligence.
out.
Gotcha.
What about like guys who like, because we've had like lots of budget cuts, what if there's guys who it's like, is this too much like what the Shovel Scum would do if they're like their job is just to like salvage like shit from like dead mechs? Like they're basically just like bone pickers. They scavenge the dead so that we can keep
I think that's good.
the war effort going by like salvaging whatever parts we can.
I like this.
Hard mode, you can't call them the vultures.
Bone pickers. You already said.
Oh, bone pickers. I like it.
There you go.
I
Very
buy it.
historical.
I'm feeling like they're 1 or 2 as well.
I don't think they should be as strong as the Thimbles, unless I guess salvage is big business. So maybe
Yeah, they could be 0. I'm down with it.
maybe business.
I
is
like this
booming.
faction making. This is a cool feature.
Relatable.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fun.
Let's do 0.
Let's do 0. 0 strong. Or 0 weak.
Yeah.
I'll do 0 weak.
Oh.
They're below you.
Finally,
We can beat them up. Yeah. We're gonna
Hell yeah!
bully them.
So that
Be
is
great.
all the Soul Union squads we're going to make. And now we're going to make 1 Clusterist squad. So right now, the squads that exist in the Clusterism are Fracture, Tier 2, they're Saboteurs. There's the Children of Martyrdom, who are 1 strong. And they are just pissed off about the death of their leader, the Martyrdom.
Can you fucking imagine your boss's name is Martyrdom and he dies and you're upset about it? Like, get your fucking head straight, man. What did you think he was gonna do?
Why can't we be live, Tom? This is good shit. This is.
I mean,
He did it.
Then there are Brea's Blades, which are 3 strong, which are the strongest ones that exist right now here. And they are basically temple guards. They're very defensive, and they are trained under the virtue of faith. And then there are the Starry Eyes, which are basically the Clusterist propagandists. And they were trained under love and are currently led by the virtue of attachment. And then there's the one you're going to make. And I'd like to hear your ideas.
Oh shit! Somebody else got to field one.
Drawn blank.
Just think
The
about
big
movies you
meanies.
like and the bad guys that are in it. And what
Think about someone you'd want to fight, or
Well,
someone you'd
my-
want to kill.
My idea would have been the Scabs. I like them. So.
Sure. What would you
Well,
call
no,
them?
we already have the Bone Pickers.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
the other side
What
can
if
have
there's-
bone pickers too.
you know
How-
what?
And they're called the same thing.
Technologically
Bone pickers.
Advanced are the
No,
Clusterists.
but I have to
Pick
think of something that
boners.
is a scab. How about like what's a scavenging animal? Hyenas?
What is?
Do
Yeah.
those even exist still?
Culturally they do.
How about
least.
These guys are the vultures. They can't
How
find a
about-
better name.
Yeah,
Hyenas is cool because it has like a violent edge to it too. Because hyenas
Yeah.
hunt in packs and
they can
laugh
be
and kill
stronger.
people. Yeah.
What would we say their strength is?
They should be definitely stronger than the Shutter.
Temple
maybe
Guards.
even
They
a
should-
maybe even a 2. What
It
if we
should
give
be
them a
the
2? Like, Fracture's already a 2 week. I don't know. I think that they should be. If these guys also do scavenging stuff, that's like the only way that the Clusterists I think are getting like any war material at this point. So they should be really good at it.
Sure.
What if we gave them like a bit of a tech edge too? Like they're scavengers, but they're like they're also like pretty savvy engineers.
Yeah, and they're
Lots of
better than the
grafted
Bone
parts.
Pickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I dig it even. That's
You dig it?
I do.
Fuck yeah.
The other faction is the Remnant Government. You're not going to be making anyone for them because the only squad they have is the Volunteer Police, which are just the police in the city. Which, they don't do much. And then the other faction we're going to be working with is the Corporate Council, which is basically all the
Yay.
corporations in one faction. And their current
Oh,
squads are the Campus
Lord.
Police, which are for defending the offices in Brea City, which is the capital. And the private military, which is their more offensive force, which is particularly
shit.
active in the Caldera Lake suburb community. And then you're gonna make a new one.
We get to fight Blackwater. That's cool. Or wait,
They're not
are we on
called
the
that
same
anymore.
side as the corporate council? Where do they land? Same with the remnant government, actually. Where do they land in relation to the excuse me, the Soul Union peacekeepers?
Your relationship with them is 0, which means they are unsure. But
Of us or of like the Soul Union in general?
in general? Because like the conflict can go either way, really. So they're not trying to take a side.
Oh,
So if
yeah,
you
they're
want
sitting on the fence.
Yeah, if you want their loyalty, you're gonna have to earn it, and I'm sure that will come up in play.
Colin, what are we gonna have to do?
You're gonna have to invent a squad that exists under the corporate council. That's what you're gonna have to do right now.
No, I meant to earn their loyalty.
Ever heard of 9/11?
Whoa.
No, what's
What
that?
if Coca-Cola asked you to do it again?
That sounds really mean.
It's new 9/11, like new Coke, and they're hoping it'll go over a little better. Oh shit! I don't know what.
Child militia.
Oh my
What?
God.
Adam said it. Adam said it.
Adam, that does open up the vein of R&D.
Does it?
Yeah, because like child militia in Gundam at least, which is a major touchstone. And I'm sure all of you watched the movie I posted in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Children are the main psychics, and a lot of experiments get done on them.
Hmm.
But just in that vein, an experimental corporate squad could be cool. Where it's
Yeah,
just, like,
what if there
that'd
was
be
a
super
squad
cool.
of empaths? That would make sense.
Corporate empaths.
Corporate empaths.
corporate
The most
technological
fucked up kind.
empaths.
That's something new.
Human
A
resources.
super like
Yeah,
a
that's
super
just
tech
HR.
faction that's kind of neutral would be cool because they would be like crazy enemies to fight against, but also if you can make friends with them, you get like some cool technology.
Yes. Ooh, I love this. This is
I was-
great.
Okay.
I want there to be a
cool-
force of some type of. Come on, look at me. Some type of like psychics that just send out waves of docileness to crowds. I don't know. I know that's like not very allowed, but I feel like as the war is increasing, we're doing more ethically
Fuzzy
dubious
vibes.
things
They shoot him out.
with these people.
Why are the dolphins just giving him weed?
Now there's an idea.
Often weed too strong. Blow your head up.
You couldn't handle it.
You don't know.
That kelp smoking.
We got a lot of things. So right now I have
We got a
cool
lot of creativity.
psychotechnological R&D guys who are manipulating the public with psychic waves. Can we
Yes,
hold that down
yes,
that's
a
it.
little bit?
Okay.
Maybe like sweep the manipulating the public with psychic waves thing under the rug, so it can be a cool reveal later on when we've all forgotten about it.
Okay, I like that. They're
Cool.
they're cool psychic technological R&D guys, mysterious with tilde next to it. Do we have a name? Going once.
Sam.
Someone else
No.
come up with it. I came up with bone pickers.
Mega Minds.
The Mega Minds.
Brainers.
Let's name every faction after Will Ferrell movies. God, it's. Let's put a pin in this because I'm sure that like 2 hours from now, after the game is ended, I'll like be sitting there and think of a cool like techno faction name and be fucking kicking myself that I didn't.
You fucking red
What is their
shit.
tier/hold?
I think it should be. I don't know, because like I don't imagine them having like really like a lot of military force, but I imagine that what they have is like very, very state of the art.
All right, let's do 2 week.
Too
Why not?
weak.
I like 2 week.
Sure.
Okay, cool. That is that done. Congratulations, you finished the first part of our spreadsheet adventure. Now we're moving on to the second one, which is the homebrew part, where we're going to determine your character's relationships to some NPCs, and we're going to create the NPCs together. You can right now you can ignore the intimacy and connection column. We're gonna do that after we create everyone.
This is gonna be so sad when the NPCs we create die.
That's why we're doing it.
I know.
That's why we're doing it. Okay, so the named characters right now there's only 2 of them. It is Kilo Germain, which is the pilot division director, and there's Nyla Westedge. Little throwback. You're a handler, basically.
I love those.
That's gonna be the person you radio back to in your mechs when you're saying it's all going to shit. Control. What's going on?
We need backup.
Exactly.
What is
so
the
first-
date that this is occurring in the future?
2370.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Wait, no, that's not true.
I thought-
10 years
Isn't
after.
it yeah.
2380.
There you go.
2380.
I even wrote that down.
Thank you, my friend. appreciate that.
I didn't want to forget it.
You're gonna have to name the drill master. I put some safety quip names at the bottom because I know
I
naming
saw
people is difficult.
It's my fucking Achilles heel, man.
I love
Jack the
naming
Slack
people.
Johnson. Very good. Very good name.
Is milk cake just like as one word?
It's a mononym, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Milk cake.
So, what do you want your drill master to be called? The drill masters are responsible for training new pilots and improving the performance of existing pilots. You've probably spent some time with this guy.
Okay. Our drill guy.
Jackson Kale.
I like that.
Jackson Kale.
Jackson
Yeah.
Kale. Whoa, I just got an Xbox Game Bar notification. The one thing I did not expect to get.
Happy birthday, Xbox.
Happy birthday, Xbox.
I've been thinking about that non-stop being a GDC. So why don't you say it like Happy Easter, Xbox, Happy Christmas, and
Happy
having
Easter,
people being like, what
Xbox.
the fuck are you talking about? It's like, you don't know?
You don't know?
You don't deserve to know.
Okay, next up is your wingman, who is the pilot who's going to be driving you around, essentially, dropping your frames in places.
Oh, cool.
Hammer.
We can't
That's
take things from another
stolen
game.
from Halo.
Echo 419. Joker.
I feel like he should have like a real, like he should be like a real, like scrappy kind of guy who like jokes a lot. He's like a real kind of a hot shot, but really he's just a glorified bus driver.
What was the name of the 40K pilot that we had in that game?
Yeah, I liked
That's a great
him. Like the,
question. It was
the redneck guy?
Worthy.
Worthy. I mean, if we want, that's there. That's
I
all
like
I'm
the
saying.
throwback idea.
If you want, let's just do a mononym because it's his call sign.
Worthy.
Yeah.
I'm down with it. Your runner. They're responsible for transporting items and otherwise assisting you. They're your assistants, basically. They're usually pretty young. It's like the first thing you do before you're like an actual pilot or actually enlisted is you're a runner. You just run around, give people their giant bullets and shit.
How
This
about
feels like it
Melvin?
would be in Brian's wheelhouse because he's kind
Melvin.
of like our bureaucrat, right? Melvin.
His nickname can be Gopher or something.
Yeah. How about
Gopher.
Melvin? Can someone come up with a dumb last name? I can't think of anything.
What if it's Melvin? First name, last
Mel.
Oh my god. I actually like this.
Good.
Okay,
Melvin.
Mel Gopher Vin.
No, Gopher Vin.
Perfect.
It's like Melvin, get me more ammo for my mech, and he's like, actually, my name's John. Shut up, Melvin.
Right, Melvin.
Next up is the surgeon. He's the one. So, did anyone take multiple points in I think it's called engineer.
Check.
Did I? I only have one in engineer.
Yeah,
I think I did. I might have taken one. Oh wait, shit! There you go.
I'm only really concerned if you have two because I don't want to step on your feet if you want to be the one healing your comrades.
No, I have 0 in engineer.
Okay. Then I will be merciful. So the surgeon is going to actually have a role in the downtime specifically because they get to actually roll their skill to heal you. And so you're going to name that person, the doctor.
Geist probably knows this guy really well because he spent a lot of time in hospitals, and he probably requires like a lot of like upkeep to prevent his implants from rejecting and make sure that his organs are still pumping right and everything.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do for your first vignette. Fun fact.
Ooh.
Whoa.
A little physical.
We got to
therapy.
give this guy a cool name so that the vignette is cool. We can't give him like a stupid name. He can't be a Melvin.
Dairy Glow.
I miss him yet.
I like the idea of the first name is Suri.
Suri?
Suri?
Suri.
Isn't that from something? I feel like that's from something.
I feel like it's from
Don't
Black
know.
Panther.
Maybe. I haven't
Suri
seen
is
it.
the name
Yes,
of one
it
of
is.
Tom Cruise's children.
Oh, it
my
is.
God,
I know.
it
I got
can't
that too
be.
when I googled it. I think it is from Black Panther.
It's Shuri.
Shuri. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Shuri.
We can
No,
do
this is
Suri.
different.
So,
Yeah.
Suri. Sounds like surgery.
The first surname that popped into my head was Arbuckle, and I don't know why. I don't think I want that to be his surname.
Garfield
but
is
that's-
real now. So I hope you're
Sorry,
happy.
Arbuckle, what have I done? I've sabotaged.
Arbuckle.
Okay.
What is a name? Arbuckle by anything else is just as sweet.
Is Surrey a woman or a man?
I think Surrey is a woman's name on 20th century Earth.
If it was a woman, I was going to say Grace could be a name.
A last name?
Yeah, Surrey Grace is nicer than Surrey Arbuckle.
We'll save Arbuckle for something
Oh,
better.
Yeah,
no
we'll
Garfield.
keep it in our
It's a
back
very
pocket.
surgeon, very
Wait,
healer name.
Wait till
Yeah.
you find out who the real pilot of Retribution is, Wyzak.
Oh my god.
John Arbuckle.
He's just the most boring fucking man ever.
You killed his cat, you bastard. Yeah, Surrey Grace. Okay. I'm not entirely sure if I want this guy to be a sergeant or a captain.
How many
So-
men does he command?
He commands multiple squads.
Okay, then yeah, he would be a captain or at least a lieutenant. Sergeant.
Yeah.
I mean, most of my knowledge of military rank admittedly comes from Warhammer 40k, but like a sergeant commands a squad of like
Yeah.
10 people.
I watched Glory last night. And this is the first time I'm talking about this, but
Of course.
the guy was a captain and he did a platoon. So
Hey, what'd you think of
Captain.
Glory?
I thought it was great. It's a great
Yeah?
movie. I get why that guy from Red Letter Media liked it a lot.
Did it deserve all its Oscars?
I think that it is in form. It's very good. I can't fault it.
There you go.
Like it's very competent.
Okay. What's this guy's name?
What's
What
his
does that
name?
mean?
This is going to be the guy who's going to be your main touch point with the infantry units you guys are responsible for.
Cool. I didn't realize we were commanding infantry around. That's pretty
yes,
cool.
you are actually going to have a lot of support structures. Despite the budget
Oh, wow.
cuts, you get like you have infantry. You're gonna have like scouts, probably like support units, artillery, all that shit. You're hooked up.
That's fucking sweet. Okay, let's give this guy a cool ass name.
How about
Arbuckle.
No, no
Randomly.
Arbuckle.
It's been said.
Arbuckle, Arbuckle.
Arby Buckle.
Tony John?
Someone doesn't
Save
say
that
something,
for our
it's
chef
Arbuckle.
because our chef has to be Italian
I like
for
Connery.
reasons that I will divulge later.
I'm just saying names.
Captain Milk.
Cool.
Captain Milk.
Captain Milk.
Captain Milk.
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 How about
Captain Milk.
Spud?
Captain Spud.
Yeah, let's give him a call sign.
I want his call sign to be Warhawk.
Ooh, that's
Warhawk.
cool.
That's cool.
Then we can give him a really stupid name so that he will never use it. And he'll always go by
that's
Warhawk
good.
because he's really self-conscious. Yeah.
Spud's a dumb name.
Okay, Captain Warhawk Spud. Let's go.
I dig it. I dig it.
All right. Next up, you're gonna name the pilot of one of the Moon Devils. Moon Devils is the elite. Like they're the top guys. So you want to be a Moon Devil if you're a little baby boy, and you're like, I want to be a pilot someday.
What do you mean, Moon Devil?
Exactly.
Okay.
This would
Also,
probably be a former friend or maybe rival, or actually maybe he's a new guy. 10 years is a long time, so maybe Geist doesn't actually know this guy personally.
Well, I mean, how long have you been in a coma? You didn't get into a coma like year one, right?
No. He went into a coma probably like year 6, 5 or 6. And then he was in the coma for like a couple of years, and then it's been like rehab and stuff for because he was really badly fucked up. It was like years of rehabilitation for him to be able to fly again.
Yeah, I think it's more interesting if you do know this guy.
Cool, I'll know
Personally.
this guy.
Also,
Like
if
the
you guys get name fatigue, just take a safety one. I get that I'm asking you to name a lot of people.
I feel like we've had a few hits, and now I'm like my brain is scraping the bottom of the incredibly shallow barrel.
Yeah,
About Crow.
the
That'd be
only
something.
Crow.
Yeah, Crow.
Crow would be
Yeah.
a cool call sign.
I like that. You can just
Thinking of,
be
like,
crow.
Avian creatures.
I like crows.
How
They're
about
my favorite
Finch?
animal.
Mm-hmm.
Bench.
Finch.
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 Finch, that's a lame bird.
Okay,
I feel like
fuck you too.
Finch should be. I feel like Finch would be good for a runner, though. I do like that.
Actually, you're kind of right. I'm kind of liking that more than Melvin.
Well,
We can
would it
start
be-
calling Melvin Finch later instead of Gopher when he's earned our respect.
You're applying to learn our respect.
I think
Isaac.
so. So we don't just toss out bird names forever. We're doing Sig
Aw.
Crow Apple for Moon Devil.
Yes. That's good.
I like that. That's good.
So now you get to choose actually what squad this next character is going to be from.
Ooh.
It's going to be obviously one of your cluster peacekeeper squads. So
Are these guys our
Cerebus-
friends?
They can be if you choose them, but this is going to be like a named character who you would like to show up. So choose a squad that interests you.
Let's have. What if we had like a real, like a Team Fortress 2 engineer style redneck guy in the
I
Bone
love this.
Pickers?
Yeah, I want someone from the Bone Pickers. I think that's good.
Yeah, he's like a real gruff.
They seem like a good guy. Like good guys, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, he's dependable. He's maybe a little bit rough around the edges, but if you need parts, he's your
He's
man.
just trying to make a living.
Can I
Yeah,
suggest
he's
names?
out here doing his best. Yes,
course.
please.
Engineer.
If this guy is going to be an engineer from TF2, I think Mahogany Cola is the one to go with.
Yeah,
Mahogany Cola. Love it.
fucking
Mahogany
sweet.
Cola.
Send for down.
Okay. Cafeteria chef. He cooked the meal.
We're gonna take some time on this one. Please don't move forward.
Everybody envision your most tasteless caricature of an Italian person and come up with a name. Or he could be Swedish chef.
Whoa, hey now. We're not stepping on
Or
that.
he could just be a normal character.
Hmm.
Where's the fun in that?
I guess you're right. We need to make an obscene caricature for sure.
Listen, if you want to make an offensive Italian name, I'm here for it. If you don't want to do that, I'm also here for it. I'm a fan of the players. What can I say?
Luigi Soler.
Power to the
Wow,
players.
like Dark Souls. I like that.
Browse.
Yeah.
Too late.
Spaghetti.
It's already
He
out.
prays in the sun.
Luigi Soler. What
Luigi
the fuck?
Soler.
Luigi Soler.
Yeah.
Two great characters. that I love.
Two heroes.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's kind of like if Luigi and Solaire merged into one character. So he's
What
what
would
he's
that
telling
even be
you.
like?
As he gives you food.
Can someone generate this? I want to see what this looks like.
I'm
Luigi
going
Solare.
to change his last name to Solare just for
yeah.
my own sanity.
Solare sounds
Yeah,
good.
that's fair.
Excellent.
Like a French
More-
cuisine.
It's more
What's sanity?
Next up is a civilian. Any civilian.
Dodging the
Could be a
question.
waiter. Could be some stranger you help. Some nameless warehouse worker that you saved during the conflict. Anything. Just some guy.
Amelia Starling.
Okay.
Sure, that's a good name.
What does Amelia Starling do? And it can't be media because that's next.
What do civilians do on this planet?
I don't know. What do you do on this planet?
Fight for the future.
Okay, well that's what you're. I mean, like you personally.
can't
you,
do that.
Ewan, like you're a civilian.
Oh,
Like, do you want you? Amelia
I make
could be an
holograms
artist.
for the greater good. I want Amelia to be an artist.
Okay, what kind of artist? It's future. Holograms?
Yeah, she does
Ooh.
holographic graffiti. She's like
Ooh, okay.
maybe some type of punk.
Some type of punk.
Holograms as future visual art is a cool idea.
That's what you.
It's already existing, man. It's
You
literally
think?
my job.
That's true. You're already here. You're living in the future.
No fucking way.
Okay. Next up is a member of the media.
The fake name I have right now in my brain is Tesco Long. I don't know
Like
if we
that.
want to use that here,
Ooh.
though.
I love fucking names that have words that shouldn't be names in them, like long.
I see that.
I mean, it just works, man. It just works. That's why I don't have any name block. Just
Table chair coming up.
table chip. Unironically, I would love it.
Executive
I have-
table chair.
I have leveraged that philosophy, and it's really good.
Yeah, it works. Just look on LinkedIn. Tesco Long,
Yep.
civilian media, member of the media reporting on the war impartially. Quick, someone make up a news network name. You have 10 seconds.
DNN.
Starlink.
BNN.
BNN.
No, Dolphin News Network.
But he's not. I don't think there's enough
10
dolphins.
seconds are up.
Cosmos.
Listen, mine was informed. It had backstory with the
Well,
setting.
So
In 10 seconds,
here's the
all I'm
problem.
saying.
The problem
You're a
is that
genius.
10 seconds are up.
Starlink Cosmic News.
I would use that if
smashed them
Starlink
together.
wasn't a thing in our world that I have negative associations with.
Oh yeah, they're like an internet service
How
provider.
about
aren't they?
Starlane?
Yeah.
Starlane is good. I like that.
What's the name of our planet again that we're on?
Terra Brea.
Terra Brea, yeah.
But
What
in
about,
my
like,
mind, this person is part of a larger media corporation that is awful.
Okay. So we can't have like RT, but for Terra Brea.
Omninet.
For Terra Brea today.
I can't wait to cause a huge scandal when we beat the shit out of this guy on live TV because he asks us tough questions.
I love Mass Effect.
Yeah.
You do?
I mean, I liked it.
See?
I guess I kind of stole the
Yeah.
Commander Shepard arc a little bit.
Let me read the introduction again and see if you like Mass Effect.
It's good.
My guy didn't
Anyways,
turn out handsome though. He's all fucked up. He looks gross. He's not getting any space babes because he's all gnarly and he has no arms.
kind of like
on.
Shepard in Mass Effect 2, right? Am I right, guys? Am I right?
Yeah. Ooh.
I think
anyway,
Shepard had
Yeah, that
arms.
he did, but he was like glowing, and I guess that made him ugly. I don't know. It was just hotter that way.
Shepard.
Anyways, next one,
Shepard.
and I think Brian, you're gonna love this. You have to make
Shepard.
up a mid-level corporate executive.
Fuck yeah.
Brian,
No,
you gotta pick that out.
you can't say his last
Just
name.
put a big bleep on that.
You kill.
Who lives at this address?
Yeah.
You picked the worst week of work to talk to me about work.
Oh no! Just name it after one of your bosses that you hate.
Bobby,
I'm
That's
not
actually a bad
Shepard.
idea. Don't do that. Don't do
No,
that.
I like this. I like this. No, I have bosses. How about I'll let you guys think of the first name, but I want the last one to be Bluth. BLUTH.
Oh, just like
Arrested Development.
Yeah.
I've never seen that show. I don't know what that is.
His
It's
name
good.
is September Blue.
How about
Yeah.
Timber Bluth.
John Bluth?
Bro,
John
you
Bluth.
just said.
I think that's a character from Arrested Development.
Yeah, I want to be careful with Bluth, so he's getting a sci-fi first name. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is a civilian who's a clusterist, but not like a, as far as you know, not a militant clusterist, just like religiously a clusterist.
Gross.
Yeah.
Um,
Dumbass McStupid.
needs a name.
Oh, got his ass.
Needs a name. Needs an occupation. Needs a vibe.
What if he's like infuriatingly passive? Like he's like an extreme like pacifist kind of guy and he's like completely unflappable, and if you try and like debate like clusterist philosophy with him, he like, you know, is like really smugly is like, it's okay, not everyone can really understand or whatever, and you just want to fucking punch him in the head, but he's so like
You
calm
method
that
acting?
you would
Are you method acting? Right?
Okay, I got an idea for first name. Finnegan.
Sure.
I like Finnegan.
Finnegan,
I
yeah.
was gonna say like, well, no, never mind. We'll go.
Oh, well, no, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Serlin Fess. SERLIN space FESS.
What
was
about
the next
Finnegan
sci-fi
Fess?
name.
I like an alliteration.
Finnegan
Fess.
Fess is good. Finnegan Fess.
Alliteration. We love alliteration here.
FF.
FF.
And just so you know, clusterism isn't inherently violent.
Nah.
They just have their beliefs.
They're just a little intolerant. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
They wanna
literally
into
kill me.
We'll
They
get
want
into
to torn me to
history.
We're gonna
pieces.
get into it. That this whole campaign.
This
We'll
is
get into
recorded.
it.
They hate my race.
This is about. Okay, first of all, emergent personality isn't a race.
I hate my species.
just you wait until my character walks on the block, okay? I got some things to argue.
Races are for people. Okay. Okay, fucker.
Okay, microwave. Now get out of here.
I'm gonna fire a railgun through Finnegan's house.
Okay, so
Your
now,
your voice is too good.
thank you. We are going to do the part which is going to be very hard for you guys, but maybe even easy. Who knows? So, intimacy and connection. This is the homebrew
Oh, it's hard.
zone. You're going to be defining your relationship to your character's relationship to at least two, but more would be even better.
And this goes on the character sheet, right?
This is going to go in here. You can put them on your character sheet because you should know that. But I'm going
There's
to
like
note them
a-
down here for me.
There's a section for that on the sheet, but I think it's actually for other players and not.
Yes,
for
that part
NPCs.
we'll get to
Okay.
at the end.
Well, obviously, I want to be friends with Amelia Starling.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about these two columns real quick.
I love
The
columns.
intimacy cap and the connection cap. The connection cap is the limit on how many of you can have a relationship with this. So Jackson Kale has a connection cap of 2. So only 2 of you can have any type of relationship with Jackson Kale. Besides, like, we work together. The intimacy cap is the level of relationship you can have with them. So Kilo Germain has a cap of 2, and 2 means good friends. So you cannot be lovers with Kilo Germain as much as we'd all like to be. So just for
Unfair.
the levels, 1 is friends or acquaintances, 2 is good friends, 3 is a trusted confidant or romantic partner, 4 is a best friend, longtime romantic partner, marriage, like, it's a person you tell everything to, no limits. That's what 4 is. It doesn't have
Can't
to
be
romantic.
married to anyone.
You can be married to a lot of these people.
Oh.
Luigi Soler.
You can even be you could be married, just not a very functional marriage to someone with a cap of 3.
I love that detail. That's excellent.
Relationship status, it's complicated. Me and Jackson Kale, we're trying to work it out.
So I guess I'm just gonna go from the top and say who's interested in having like any type of relationship with this character. Jackson Kale. Actually, let's start with Kilo Germain because he's a connection cap of 1, and I think Wyzak, I'm just gonna give this to you.
Okay.
Because your character's kind of made for this relationship. What's your call sign again?
Geist.
And I'm assuming you want to be good friends.
Yeah. They definitely. I would say they know each other.
Yeah, I mean you served together, man. You served.
Yeah.
That's his voice. He sounds kind of like Patrick Warburton.
Nice. I love Patrick Warburton, so that's very good news.
Okay, Jackson Kale. Does anyone want to have a relationship of some sort with Jackson Kale?
Who's pals with the drill master? Come on, let's see it.
Crickets.
No one gives a fuck about Jackson.
Sorry, I don't care. You
Do
know
we
what?
have to fill up these connection caps, or like should we try to?
Yeah. Like, is
What's
it
Jackson
You don't
Kale's
ask that, too.
personality?
You don't have to.
like?
I don't expect. I expect for a few of these people to have nothing on them. That's fine.
Would
with
he
me.
have trained me?
Yes.
Oh, give me a 1 with him.
Okay.
We're acquaintances.
Is Sunlith your call sign?
No, it's loyal.
Loyal. I remember that. Okay.
Mhm.
What level connection?
Just 1.
1.
I respect him, but I don't think he likes me, so it's just a 1.
Does anyone else want Jackson Kale feelings?
So is it like do negative relationships count, or just like relationships that aren't strictly completely positive?
I hadn't even thought about that. So sure, that sounds dope.
Let's do it.
Can it
You
be
want a
complicated?
contentious relationship?
I can
do it.
see Geist having a relationship of 1, but it's not like Jackson Kale treats him like a new recruit, but he's like been in, even though he's not like flying like an ace pilot, he still kind of has that mentality, and he resents being treated like a recruit, even though he kind of performs like one.
Okay, I'm giving you a 1-
Yeah.
for Jackson
Hmm.
Kale. That fills up his connection cap. Good word. Okay. Now I know you all want to have a relationship with your handler. So let's hear it. Who wants it?
Come on, that's the ultimate forbidden romance, people. Let's see it.
I wasn't even
Not me.
meaning romance, just like a relationship of any sort.
Yeah. Me neither. So Whatever.
maybe they were like my character's supervisor before. I could see a working relationship.
Sure. Is that how good of a working relationship are we talking about?
What do you mean by that? They're colleagues,
on a
Colin.
scale of 1.
1 to 3.
Yeah, they're coworkers.
Does
They
anyone want to be,
emailed each other. They liked
they
each
don't want
other.
to be good friends with your handler? Okay.
I don't. I specifically do not.
Works for me.
What would being good friends with the handler mean for a dolphin who tries to be pacifist but is still a good soldier despite his own feelings about this?
It means that you
He
would
follows orders. He really is good at following orders, so I think he
means
would
that
have a
you
good
would-
relationship.
go out to a bar with Nyla Westedge and have some drinks and talk about how you had a fucked up day and how that last operation was rough. Like, the characters you declare you're having, like, relationships with here, like, friendships with, are going to be in your vignettes frequently.
Mhm. Do we have a limit on how many friends we can have?
No.
Cool. Give me friendship with Neela.
1 or 2.
Let's do 2.
Okay. Loyal. 2. Okay, Worthy. Your wingman. Crickets.
Come
Okay.
on, get off the bench, people.
I want to be friends with everybody. Can I just be friends with 2 with everyone who would be nice to me?
You are an empath.
Like, literally, I'm an empath.
I
Yeah.
think
That's what he's here for.
you absolutely can be really good friends with people, but there's only so much time in your day, so it's like
Would I
You
go
want-
to drinks with Worthy?
it's like
What is 1 again?
if you want to
Just
have one with
acquaintance?
it's like acquaintances or friends. If you want to have one with everyone, that's totally fine. It's just like 2 will be the people it's like you will put a little extra effort into meeting up with this person.
Yeah.
If like you,
Okay.
You can't maintain infinity level 2 relationships because you just don't have enough like time and attention to devote.
That's
to
true.
them
I'll be a
all, I
little
think, is
more
the idea.
sparing with my attention here.
Are the intimacy and connection caps that aren't filled in, are those coming later? Are we filling them in as we go?
those just mean there's no limit. Sky's the limit.
Okay.
No limit.
Cool.
Okay. Do you have people in mind, Adam? You haven't piped in yet.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when I made my character, there was someone who didn't really make friends with it. Like I expected them to be like playing with like rats and talking to vending machines and stuff. Like didn't want to talk to anyone. Do you want me to not have that?
I mean, I think that you can have a very different relationship with people and what friendship means. It's like, it's possible that some of these people consider you a friend. And like you end up hanging out with them, but you think they're just pitying you.
You should be friends with Mahogany Cola. I can see him thinking that
I want everyone to have, like, by default, like, you're kind of a special case because of your emergence, but like you've been here for 6 years. Like, I don't know what that 6 years has been like, but you need to have made a connection with someone in order to like maintain that, or else you'd be like totally crazy mode.
The rats. Really good friends with the rats.
I'm telling you,
now.
I'm talking to rats. I'm talking to vending machines. I'll look through them. I don't know. Like I don't want worthy or anything. So skip for me on that one.
Like I said, this could just be someone who like fucking oils your joints, who like you tolerate because they're useful to you.
Probably the surgeon then, I would assume, because we'd just be talking.
The surgeon, maybe the runner would also maybe do that. And also at the end of this, we can add people if you have anyone you guys really want who is not here. I'm just trying to keep it like kind of tight so that we have room for these people to exist. Okay, Worthy. No one's friends with Worthy. That must make him really sad.
Like the
runner. This is someone you're going to interact with regularly. Probably looks up to most of you.
Come on, someone throw this guy a fucking bone. I'm not gonna do it, but somebody should.
No, not me.
Won't someone talk to Melvin? Give him the
not
time of
touching
day.
Melvin with a 10-foot pole.
Listen, if Melvin is a person who is sad and feels underappreciated, then Sunlith would seek him out and try to be his friend.
Yay!
That sounds like a very
the dolphin talks to me. Oh, I had to talk to the dolphin.
Yeah, that's really
Talk to that dolphin.
Okay, the surgeon.
I want a relationship at 2 with the surgeon, and it's it's like they're always like talking shit on each other and like bickering and everything, but it's like good natured, like they're just like always talking shit and like insulting each other, but it's like good natured and friendly.
You know who I like that. Do you know who I'm forgetting? I'm forgetting like an engineer, a mechanic of some sort.
I guess we would need one, wouldn't we?
Maybe
I thought that
maybe Gopher is your mechanic as well.
Oh,
Like,
in
he
that case,
doesn't
I'd
make him a
maybe like
mechanic.
him a little more.
Like
Oh,
he
no.
does, he
A
doesn't
little
do
bit more.
like anything super inventive, but he does like maintenance. He replaces like the armor plating. Basic.
-2.
If he's our mechanic, is he patching up my exosuit?
You guys do your own work for the most part, but like extra hands.
Like, I'm inside my exosuit all the time. I think
Oh,
I kinda
your
need some
exosuit.
help with it.
Yeah, he could help with it.
Then if he's the one, like, making sure my robot body works, I'd be a lot better friends with him.
Way to be Melvin, moving up in the world.
I'm Team Melvin over here.
Anyone else want to talk to Melvin?
No? You know what? Well, and look at the
Yeah.
rest of the people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I might be less humorously dismissive of him as a gag if he actually does more than like fetch things.
Like a 0.5?
Yeah.
Can we get a
We're
0.5?
breaking out the decimals. I love it.
0.5 for Melvin.
Bidding.
Okay. Captain Spud, Warhawk.
I would take a 1 with him, I think.
Wait, can I get a 1 with the surgeon?
Yes.
Thank you.
Did anyone else?
Can I have a -2 with Warhawk? Is that allowed?
Sure. Why did Warhawk hate you, or do you hate Warhawk, or is it both?
I think I don't like Warhawk because I would like us to be probably going back to like my infiltrator roots. I don't want like anyone trying to support me. I could do this on my own.
Sure. I love animosity. Okay, Crow.
I like the idea that they have Geist and Crow have an Ash Ketchum Gary Oak vibe. Maybe a little bit lighter than that, but it's they're kind of not even really rivals because he is way outclassing Geist right now, but he's they're not exactly friends, but maybe Crow respects what Geist used to be. But he's now I'm better than you ever were. I'm a real hotshot. So it's complicated.
One
They
yeah.
should
Day.
be nice to each other.
Getting some
one
getting arcane symbols in here.
Yeah.
Mahogany Cola, the TF2 engineer.
I really like this guy, but I don't know if Geist would be friends with him. But I just think he's cool.
The people who do not have any connections right now are Hex and Joseph.
Whoa.
I want to be
guy.
friends with him in real life.
Sure, you can give me a 1 with that guy. Maybe he's always trying to give me parts, and
He's an
I'm
engineer,
whatever.
you know. Maybe
Yeah. Let's look at my body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Intimacy.
Okay, Luigi Solare.
Do I
Five.
convince him to make fish flakes for me that he tosses into my bowl?
Yeah.
I eat through a fucking tube. I don't even know this guy.
Yeah, this is not a person I would ever. I don't eat, so what the fuck do I care about Luigi?
Do you still eat through a tube?
Yeah, I imagine that his part of what I envision for this guy is that his augmentations are so immense that he's been just completely alienated from a lot of very basic human experiences. And that's one of them. He doesn't really eat anymore at all. It's just nutrient paste that's automatically fed into what remains of his digestive system.
That doesn't sound very fun.
It's scary.
It's
Does
not.
Luigi have access to fresh fish?
Yes.
I'm best friends with Luigi.
Is that a level 3 best friend? Trusted confidant?
Yes.
This is 4.
Mamma
Fuck
mia.
yeah.
It's a spicy anchovy.
Did someone else say they wanted a Luigi relationship?
How
I
many
might have
points?
made a joke about it, but I was not being serious.
There's no limit on your points, Brian.
Not me.
I want to be friends. Yes, Luigi just seems nice.
Level 1 or
And
level 2?
Level 1, it's I'm a regular. I look
Hey.
forward to seeing Luigi.
All right.
What can I get you, Hex?
Okay. Amelia Starling. Civilian artist holograffiti.
Negative
Loyal
1.
wanted something. What do you want, Loyal?
Dude, I can't decide if I want to be rivals with her, if we're in a rival artistry thing, because I make art with my sonar that is holograms. Maybe I have some tech that can also put stuff up. So her stuff is very anti-peacekeeper. We hate the peacekeeper, and his stuff is the peacekeepers can still have peace.
Sure.
Something like that.
Pro-state
Rival
graffiti.
artist in the
Always
city.
very cool. So is Amelia pro-clusterist or is she just anti-everyone?
I think she's anti everyone at this point. I don't know,
Anti the
what she's
establishment, both of
Yeah.
them.
Oh shit!
Yes, for sure.
Great. Okay. Anyone else from Amelia? Going once? Going twice?
Nah.
Tesco Long. Civilian. Media. Starlane News. Someone needs that relationship with this person.
It shouldn't. I'm the least charismatic character. I should know.
Yeah, my
Who's
character's
our
a
most
corporate
charismatic character? And don't say
The
it's me.
bureaucrat. Put him in front of the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Fine. He's good at that. Let's do it.
I guess
He can-
PR kind of falls
Yeah,
under
he
the
could do
scope of
corporate
bureaucracy.
speak.
Yeah, that would work.
Speaks in pure corpo jargon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll
One?
circle back on that.
1 or 2?
I put a pin in it.
Let's do 2. Let's do 2.
I like that.
Oh,
I like that a
shit.
lot. I want everyone to have a 2. Joseph, I'll give you some slack because I know you're a robot. And
it's
Hell am I-
it's 11.
It's
He has a -2.
Yeah,
That's
I have a
true.
-2.
count.
I'll take a -1. I can put that somewhere.
September Bluth, corporate mid-level executive. I
That
think
guy.
it'd fit
I'm a man.
for Hex to have some sort of relationship with September.
Yes, Hex does not like them. That's more of a rivalry.
Okay, 1 rivalry.
They're very wasteful. He doesn't like him. No.
Have you guys watched the What We Do in the Shadows TV show?
Yeah, some
No.
I can't help but imagine this guy being the psychic vampire who's just the most fucking bland.
yeah.
Really,
Colin Robinson.
Yeah, yeah.
My name.
I just started watching it last week. I really like it.
You
It's
shouldn't
good
watch
until it's
past
not.
the second season.
Mm-hmm.
Does it get bad?
It really does.
Oh,
It
that's
really,
a fucking shame. I love Matthew Berry. I think he's fucking hilarious.
yeah. It's
At a certain point, we both just stopped laughing, and then we're like, "Why are we watching this anymore?"
yeah, like they messed around new writers at the beginning of the third season.
That's rough.
If you like that,
What we do in the
don't
shadows,
like
fix your shit.
Since you are having a rivalry with September Bluth, do you want to tell me like slightly more about what sort of corporation you think they work for?
So is Bluth actively on Cluster's planet these days?
Yes.
Like, I'm just trying to think of how this would work in the setting. In this case, I need to think about this. I want to make
he's probably like, for context, as a mid-level executive, he's probably like either in charge of his company's operations or he's like beneath the one in charge of his company's operations on the planet. All the companies are part of the corporate council, which is like the big authority on corporate actions, but that's still a lot of clout. But you can send it later. We can talk about it. We can talk about sci-fi Coca-Cola as much as you want. The last one is Finnegan Fess, who is a civilian, as far as you know, is not involved in the conflict, a complete pacifist. Since they're a named character, they're probably outspoken and, is like known for some reason.
Depending on how, I was just gonna say like how do we know this guy? Because I feel like Geist probably just fucking hates his guts.
Agreed. What you told
Geist's a little unhinged.
I imagine he is saying something. He's like an apologist Christian. And he's probably outspoken about it. It's like, clusterism isn't about violence. It's never been about violence. I think people say clusterist and they mean terrorist, but just because some terrorists are clusterists doesn't mean all clusters are terrorists, man.
I'm reporting this guy to my superior.
Fuck this guy.
He's an agitator.
I tell you.
So I think since you all know him, he is fairly outspoken on it. He's not like a mouthpiece, but he's known. Like
he's in the community.
He's probably like protest outside of the base.
I just step on him as I walk out of the hangar. Oops. Yeah, I don't think I like this guy. I don't know if it's worth even giving him a -1, but I think he's a real dick.
Yeah.
Which probably speaks to Geist's own prejudices because he's really not saying anything that's not true.
What does Finnegan think about dolphins, and does he want the clusterists to relocate, or does he want everyone to just stay where they are and let the embargo happen from the Omnis? What are they called? The Oros.
Oro.
Yeah.
Got the O right, which is good. I think. I mean, this is up to you. You created this character. What do you think he thinks about dolphins? It's a gray area. It could go either way. It could go neither way. It could go both ways.
Clusterists don't have like a standing opinion on non-humans that aren't.
No, it's a lot like. But anyway,
it's a gray area. It's not specifically prescribed, but so maybe some hardliners like.
Yeah, it's like clusterism is like originally, only humans have souls. We're sapient, but then it turns out the dolphins are sapient as well, and that kind of fucks with their worldview. Because they think Earth is like Gaia, is like they're put there for a reason. So if dolphins are there for a reason too, maybe they have souls too. Like the prophet never spoke about dolphins, so they're just trying to figure it out.
Cool.
It's a weird spot for them, so they could go either way.
Yeah, on the spot world building.
On the spot? Well, that was actually already world built.
Oh, that's fuck.
Whoa.
I take it back.
Yeah, it's a cool world. Excited to explore. I don't know how I feel about Finnegan yet. I don't know what to think about him.
Let me look over what we have. We got everyone has a 2 except for Joseph, which I am fine with them not having a 2.
Am I the only one with a 3?
Cool.
Oh, you guys need to hit up this fishmonger. He's the best guy ever.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't need food.
It makes sense that Geist does not have a trusted confidant because he probably has serious fears about intimacy because he lost his girlfriend, and not trying to do a armchair psychologist your character, but
he would be very defensive about it, but it's definitely true.
Do we have a name for her, by the way?
You can come up with one if you want, since you kind of spawned out of her mech. All I know is that she was a very powerful empath.
Yeah, I gotta think about that. I don't know.
When you guys say empath, you mean psychic, I presume.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Like,
just
are there psychic? So like psychic powers are very much like it's like very like telepathy based, right? Like are there telepaths who are like are people like telekinetic or pyrokinetic
Yes.
or like what is the we got all kinds?
What you're describing is low-level psychics, which are purely empathic, and then there are mid-level psychics, which are basically unheard of in humanity. Those are for other aliens to get that cool shit. And high-level psychics basically chim themselves out of existence for the most part.
Oh, that's cool.
But if they didn't, they could probably it would be bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is that. I'm pretty happy with everything. If you guys want to change these in the game or later, I'm cool with that. Next up is going to be squad creation.
As long as we don't have to come up with any names, I feel like it'll be real.
Well, you're going to have to name your squad.
Fuck!
But
Jesus Christ.
I know that is extremely difficult, and I will not force you to do it on the mic.
Let's definitely put that. I wanna workshop some ideas, so let's not do that now. But we can do the steps.
All right, great.
Because I feel like some of this stuff is already pre-decided, right?
Kind of. So page 182, and then you can open up the squad sheet and just designate one of you to be the. I'm gonna do Wyzak because Wyzak, you're good with things.
Yeah, I got it here.
I'm ready. You're gonna be the designated editor. So first thing is you choose your squad's patron faction, which we're not doing because your patron faction is the Soul Union Peacekeepers.
Yes.
Then you choose what kind of faction they are, an autocracy, corporatocracy, things like that, which you're not going to do because you know what they are. However, because I like player agency, you're going to choose which one of these bonuses you get from your faction. And that is basically +1 material, +1 trust. At the end of the mission is like the first option. Material is like equipment and stuff. Trust is your trust with your employer. The other thing that's going to be mentioned here is rep, which is your reputation just in general.
Is that XP in this like it is XP is different.
I believe rep is XP in this one. Wait, no, it's
I see there's career XP is a separate subheading, yeah.
We'll get into it. I don't want to look it up right now. It's something.
How do squad names come about? Good question. In the military,
think in this situation it's assigned to you. It's gonna be like a Delta Green situation where you get to choose it, but technically it was assigned to you. But I think later on, as you grow in notoriety, people just call you something.
Cool.
Anyways, I don't really even know how that happens in the real world. So,
which of these faction types would you say the our faction actually is? Like, if you had to pick one, like, are they
in autocracy?
So that means we get 1 material and 1 trust as like reward for a mission.
Yes, but you can choose any of these benefits.
Yeah, it's hard without knowing.
I honestly, if you want to just be like, just like jack of all trades, I would choose democracy, which is +1 material and +1 personnel, because you get both of those important meta currencies at the end.
Sure, that seems good to me.
And technically, the Soul Union is a democracy. So after that, you're going to set your relationship with each faction to 0, which I've already done for you, except for the clusterists, because your relationship with them is negative because they want you dead. Directly
fuck those
and
guys.
Immediately. Then you create an NPC who's the squad's direct superior. This has already been done. That is Nyla West Edge. But as part of that, you are going to choose 1 squad in your faction who has -1 status with the handler, and 1 squad has +1 status.
Do they have to be Soul Union squads?
It doesn't specify. I would say anything except clusterists is fine. Because the
maybe Nyla doesn't like what they call the other scavs, not the hyenas.
Bone pickers, our own guys.
Yeah, maybe she just doesn't like them.
So this isn't just
don't like them.
Her relationship with them; it's also your relationship with them. Which
mind.
I'm fine with that either way. But
I like.
So you should,
Her maybe pissing off the corporate council might be interesting. She hates those little corpo vulture bastards.
Yeah, she's wow, they're making a dime off this.
So campus police, or private military, or the wrench heads.
Oh, private military! I want to fight those guys.
Sure. And who do you want +1 with? Bone pickers?
Yeah, I like them.
I like that.
Yeah.
We picked a very powerful faction to hate us and a very weak faction to be our friend.
So -1 is
Underdogs.
It's just like they slightly
Dislike.
dislike you.
Okay, good.
And then you choose the goal for your patron faction. You don't get to do that. The Soul Union's goal is to take hold of the planet and get rid of the Clusters, one way or another.
Yeah.
Now you get to choose a squad playbook, which is pretty big because you are kind of a jack of all trades. It's not going to be as, you're not going to get all of one type of mission. So you still want to choose whatever you feel works best for your squad.
Squad playbooks, where are they?
Great question.
Oh,
It's on squad playbooks are on page 232.
That's such a weird place for them.
It is. They're really far down. So basically, it is the consulate, which is, a consulate, communication, outreach. The front line, which is like straight up warriors. You're in the shit. It's if you want a lot of combat. Logistics, which is you deliver shit. Get things from one place to another. And it's not as simple as these quips. They have a lot of abilities. And if you guys want to think about it instead of deciding on Mike, I'm cool with that too. And we can also change it. Mechanized cavalry, which is focus on the vehicles as much as possible, which kind of just sounds like frontline, but with more of a focus on your frames.
I kind of dig that, but I want to see the rest of them.
The profiteers, which are acquiring product supply, executing clandestine or covert sales, or securing new clientele.
Hell yeah.
Let's pick
New
smugglers
facial
again and then never smuggle anything again.
Right?
That's how it goes. You smuggle twice, okay? It's good enough. Recon, which you know what recon is. R&D, which is you're creating technology and testing it, and the redacted, which is
ooh, I'm intrigued.
committing heated violence and be the morally dubious hand of your faction's authority.
Subtle violence. Oh, so we're like some kind of Suicide Squad. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. That's cool though. Yeah, we can take it out.
I'm not taking that out. You're living with it.
No.
Your XP trigger for that is to execute a successful accident, disappearance, murder, or ransom operation, which is very funny. These all have their own XP triggers, which are like things that you have to do to gain XP for your squad. So that should be something that you are excited about doing in general. But those are your options. You should just take a brief look at them. Also, I believe you can just take abilities from any squad playbook, so you're not locked to these abilities. So just choose basically whatever XP trigger and starting upgrades sound best to you guys.
Cool. I definitely want to workshop this. I really like the example picture for the redacted is just like some dudes in a lab and there's like an alien in a tube and then like a scientist one being shot in the fucking back by like a spec ops guy.
Look at that compared to the picture directly before it.
It's just so funny.
It's like they're doing stuff they shouldn't do, and then we come in and we kill them for it.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I didn't even see it's a two-parter.
It's like a comic. I really like the idea of this squad because like if Sunlith just like was so fucking good at killing that he just kept getting promoted and then ended up in this and still hates it, but he's so good at it. So that's why he's here.
I'm so good at shooting people in the back as they run away. I want to think about that because there's like 3 of these that I think are really cool and a couple others that I think I would be willing to do anyways.
Sure.
So let's definitely brew that one up. I know that's kind of a big one. But
while I have people here, does anyone else have any feelings on these? That like there's some they like and some they don't like? Like you, Adam. What do you feel?
All right. Maybe I was just messaging Brian, asking him what page we were on because I was eating peanuts and I lost track. Right?
Hey, I got you the page. I got you the page, Adam.
I'm so happy. Thank you. Oh man, have we asked what Ewan thinks? Have we gotten it in yet?
I do like the Black Squad concept just because it's so anti to my character's beliefs, and it would be interesting to play that. I also think it'd be the coolest missions.
Well, we can take any. It's just like class abilities. You can take any ability for any squad. You just can't change. It'll determine your starting upgrades, and also the XP trigger is the big.
Well, what do we want to do on this world? I think is the question we have to ask these characters. What type of squad do we want to be?
I mean, my character is an ace, so obviously I'm kind of biased to. That's kind of one of the things that I think is kind of weird about squad creation is that it feels like each like squad is like very biased towards one playbook. Like mechanized cavalry is definitely the ace. The front line is the soldier. Recon is the infiltrator. Logistics is the bureaucrat. I like mechanized cavalry because I think, this is a mech game and I want to be in my robot as much as possible, but I think that can really be achieved with any group.
Yeah.
But,
Let me toss something out. What if we just ignore the XP triggers and you just make up your own? And you just take whatever starting upgrades you like, and we just leave it at that. We've basically already done that with a few other things, and I agree with you. As a GM, when we played Blades in the Dark and you were smugglers, I was like, how am I going to make an entire campaign out of just smuggling
About
things?
smuggling.
And we just didn't instead.
Like, any TV show, like, where you have, like, the premise, it's like, they're off their first, like, premise by episode 3. So, I'm cool with this. Think about mechanically what you guys like, or ask Wyzak to do it, because Wyzak's good with mechanics.
Mechanized cavalry has an upgrade that gives every vehicle 2 free loads of weapons and armor, that's huge.
That is big.
That's real fucking big. But I mean, I'm sure all the other trees. I'll read all of the honestly. This is so dumb. I didn't read any of the squad playbooks because they're like 50 pages away from like the squad creation section, and I took a quick look and couldn't find them and immediately gave up. But like I read every single pilot playbook, so now that I know where this is, I just need some time to look at them, and I'll post some stuff to the chat when I have some ideas.
So yeah, after you do that, you're going to choose your squad reputation. I don't know if you want to do that or not. Some example reputations are immoral, or something like daring, menacing, strange, destructive. That's the real
strange.
That's the real theme right there.
It's like a group think.
I don't want us to have a reputation as being immoral, because I want my character to be horribly immoral, and I want that to make him stand out as like he's the team psychopath.
My character's like by the book, so I don't think that fits him.
My character's emotionless, so I guess he is immoral because he doesn't care what he does.
In the sense that he literally has no morals.
Yeah, he would kill anything to get the job done.
Hey, he likes what he does. I
Can't help it. It's robot life, okay?
It is simply in his nature.
Maybe he will one day learn to love.
Emergent personalities are capable of emotions. It's just hard because they don't get born with them.
Yeah.
They got to learn them from scratch.
Could you learn to love?
Can I force an emotion on an emergent personality?
You can.
Stay away from me, Dolphin. Don't touch me.
You can
learn to love, you motherfucker.
Makes you feel clenched. Just gonna sometimes out of the corner of your mind feel this warm buzzing feeling. You're gonna see me there in a doorway, and I'm gonna leave really quick.
I clench my fist.
Let's not think about the implications of that.
No.
Whistles.
Besides that, you're going to be choosing upgrades, which we can't because we don't have a squad. But what we can do on Mike is one of the upgrades you get is because a squad is going to have helped you get it, and one is because you're going to have screwed over another squad to get it.
Oh, classic Blades in the Dark.
So choose one squad you want a +1 with, and one you want a -1 with. And these are going to be, once again, not clusterist squads. Unless you really want it to be. In which case we can talk about that.
No, I don't want to be friends with the clusterists. I hate those guys. What if we took a +1 with the let's put a pin in this /wrench heads? Maybe they were like, hey, you guys want to try out some military prototypes?
Down.
You guys want to try out some cool shit?
Yeah, wrench head.
I think that's how I might have got whatever new weapons got added to my mech.
Yeah, my character's frame is very much based around trying out experimental weird shit. I'm gonna take the prototype ability second, I think.
Sure. Who do you want a -1 with?
One?
Who do you want -1 with, gamers?
It would be kind of funny to have the cops hate us. Maybe we should have somebody. Maybe what if the Shutterbugs didn't like us because we make their propaganda job hard? Because we just keep doing high exposure shit, and they're trying to make the fucking peacekeepers look really good, and you guys keep firing a railgun through a school
I was gonna say
bus.
maybe Moondevils too, because maybe we're so good we knock them off their pedestal.
I don't think that is true when we are 0 and they are 4. I don't think we can knock them off of
Just
anything.
you wait, Wyzak.
Maybe one day, but not right now.
I mean, these are not fixed. They will develop as time goes on.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But
These are just your starting ones. But I do agree that you will not be knocking the Moon Devils off their pedestal yet.
Okay. Forget what I said. Never mind.
You know, every GM has their cool GM guys, and the Moon Devils are my cool GM guys.
Cool GM guys.
I got a problem with their cool GM guys.
I think that the Shutterbugs or the Shovel Scum would be good people to have dislike with, because we either fuck with the propaganda or we keep blowing up like bridges in schools.
Schools?
Well, we had to.
They're engineers.
Someone was in there.
They were harboring fugitives.
There were a lot. There were a lot of very small people in there.
Are they
small,
small?
clusterist, and
Or far away?
Shutterbugs.
Shutterbugs. Done.
Sure.
Done.
Done.
Okay. I'm gonna post in the chat what you have left to do, and we will just call it there. Thanks for being here, everyone. Next time you hear from me, each of you will be doing a vignette, a small little scene with me, and after that, we will do the first episode of this nasty little thing.
Hell yeah!
Sick.
I am excited.